To Super Formula at Interlagos. This is RWB Crimson, accompanied by our regular commentator, Mr. V. Francisco.
How's it going, Cody?
It's going good. And we got a special guest. You know, he was the other half of the Cupcake and Cannoli show last season. We've got none other than Joey Cannoli.
Hey, Cody. Hey, Vasco. Good to be here, man.
Yes, no, it's great to have you here. You provided some colorful commentary last season with us too. But so this is officially the Crimson and Cannoli show presented by Vasco and Francisco. We are commentating here over at Interlagos.
I do have to say though, we are clearly missing Presidio Dog.
We are
the man behind the broadcasting. So please bear with us. This race, you know, it was a great race, but you know, Chris will be missed. But in the end, we got to get it going.
We do. So let's take a quick look here at the starting grid. Right now, we've got Mr. Francisco qualifying in first, Joey Cannoli second.
Oh, that's a BWT lockout.
That is a BWT lockout.
Nice
but you know what? That
Very
Crimson livery is sitting in third.
Right, it is.
Now, J-Rod started very strong, or qualified strong, I should say. He's
got some momentum after that last race, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think that last race, man, was a morale booster for him, so I'm excited to see where he's going to finish. Now we have Grasso 5th, Supermech 6th, Trology 7th. We've got Jack, who used to be bent for the sake of, or rated PG, Patriotic Tifosi had made an appearance. He's qualifying in 9th. Venom was 10th, Igorski 11th, and newcomer HD Fatboy qualified in 12th.
I just want to make a statement here. Patriotic Tifosi, unfortunately, this is going to be his last race. He is going off to college and has to drop out of the season. But up until this race, he's put in a stellar performance. I expected nothing less of him. He's a great racer, and he's a lot of fun to race with. He, you know, very respectful, but he races hard.
Yes, and he says he's still going to try to sneak in and look at these races as he's studying in college. So we got to put on a show for him.
That's for sure.
We do.
Sorry, Cody. Back to you.
Oh, you're good. So, no, we wish Patriotic the best. He'll always have a warm car to come to, and if he decides to join any events. So, without further ado, let's get this race going. So, let's wait for the lights. So we're taking a look here with Crimson, and we are off.
Oh, we unfortunately have someone stuck on the grid. Trology dropped to 12th position. I think he had a malfunction.
Oh, man.
That's unfortunate. But other than that, everybody looks like they got cleanly out of turn 1, 2, and 3. And yeah, back to you.
Yeah, so right now Vasco has taken a very nice lead here going in to the second sector. Joey Cannoli's right behind him, as well as Crimson. Crimson is all over Joey's tail at the moment, wanting to get that second spot, wanting to catch Mr. V. Francisco.
And not too far behind is J-Rod, who just picked up a penalty and got passed by V. Grasso into Sector 2. So let's see this battle here for a little bit. Let's watch off board.
Yep, we're watching off board here. Let's see what he's going to do to Grasso.
Tries to go around the outside. Oh, gets a little nip and tuck here from Supermax. But other than that, pretty damn clean.
Yes, very clean. So overall, we've had a really good start here heading into the second lap. So no need for a red flag. Right,
let's go to Patriotic and P8. He looks like he's got a run on Jack at the moment. Maybe he's going to get a run into turn 1. He's sticking to the slipstream, no overtake boost needed at the moment. And let's see if he gets onto the inside or if he just drops back.
Yep, let's take a look here. And, okay. Got a little bit hairy.
Yeah, there is something going on though with P5. If we go up to P5 off board, We got a drag race here to turn 3 or
We
turn
do.
4.
We've got every bit of 4-way, or actually, you know what? Let's make it a 5-way. We got a 5-way battle for 4th place going on here.
Right,
And
Joey,
let's see,
what's the live
Super
timing
Max
between first and second? Keep going. Yep.
Super Max here. He tried to go on the inside of J-Rod, could not get it done. J-Rod doing a very good job at holding his line
This
and
is a great battle
defending
here
his
for third
position.
place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
first and second's about a second and a half now,
And to Crimson?
and then another half a second there.
All right. There you have it, folks. So the top, basically, this is the battle for third place that or for fourth place that we're watching here. This is a great battle going on.
Yes.
Let's go further down the field. Oh, it looks like Fat Boy went off track. But let's go to 9th place here and look backwards. And see if Igorski can make a move on his brother.
That's really tight there.
Remember, Petronas, Mercedes, I should say, they're down to one driver, Venom. So Venom is carrying the flag at the moment. Igorski getting to the inside, giving him the room, and Venom just takes the beautiful line, and he now starts to pull away. And there's a battle here for 5th place at the moment, Vidrasa. If you look backwards going into turn 4, let's see what happens here.
Yep, let's take a look. Going into the turn, not a lot going on there at the moment.
Yeah, but Supermex gets a little bent out of shape, but that's all right. He should have pace to catch right up.
He should, and it looks like he is starting to gain position there.
Meanwhile, up at the front.
Yes, at the front. Let's take a look.
Yeah, at the front we got Joey Cannoli in second, chasing Francisco, who's holding a 0.2 seconds of penalty, and Crimson is just, he's just tucked in behind, not letting Joey get away.
And Crimson seems uncomfortable behind there. He wants to get ahead, right?
Oh, for sure. Every racer at this point, it's sometimes nice to stay back, but that racer mentality inside you always want to be ahead. Always, always, always. Joey covering the line beautifully, making Crimson go the long way around, and because of that, Crimson doesn't get the line he wanted into turn 2.
Yeah, so Joey can only Joey's doing a fantastic job at defending his line. I'm sorry there.
I was just saying, there's different strategies right now. Francisco started on super soft, where Joey Cannoli started on softs, and then we have Crimson in the back with super soft, and then
and J-Rod also on the softs, right? And the funny
there's
thing
a mixture.
These 4 guys all have, even though they're on different compounds, they're all running roughly in the low to mid 18s. Francisco at the moment, I believe, has the fastest lap of a 17.5, but the previous lap he made about a mistake that cost him about a second and a half. So this battle is definitely heating up. And everybody is still pretty close.
And speaking of battles here, we got a 3-way battle for 7th place between Venom, Supermax, and Patriotic.
Oh, and this is going into the main straight. Turn 1 is a overtaking hot spot, so let's see what happens here.
Yep, let's take a quick look and see.
Patriotic trying to break the toe, I should say, takes it into the inside, a nice defensive line, forcing Supermax around the outside. Supermax had to scrub off a lot more speed, otherwise he would have ran wide. And then Venom, getting into the back of Supermax. I guess he just wasn't expecting that difference in speed.
No, yeah, Patriotic is one of the only 2 people that started with mediums.
Oh, that's impressive. And Supermax here is trying so hard to get ahead of him. Unfortunately, he's destroying his super soft tires, which, if getting stuck behind somebody on a slower tire, you end up pushing more than you need to, trying to get by. So Patriotic doing a great job. Supermax finally getting through.
Yeah, got a little bit wide, but Patriotic had the best racing line in that situation and just slipped right past.
He just went right for a cutback, right underneath him.
Flipped right around again.
Almost like he said, "Oh yeah, you want to go by? Go." But he ran wide and just tucked him right underneath him.
Great line, great racing there.
Yes.
Meanwhile, at the front, we got a three-way battle here now for second place. Joey is still holding off Crimson, but J-Rod is now starting to get onto the coattails of Crimson. So Crimson, while he's looking forward, he might now need to start looking back because, like we know, J-Rod has some momentum coming in from the last race at the Red Bull in the Ring. So this is going to be interesting to keep track of later on.
And as you mentioned, J-Rod is on the softs. So you have super soft, soft, super soft, soft. It'll be interesting to see how each one of these drivers really handle those tires and what they're going to do with that timing.
Right, looks like in 6th position, Jack made a mistake into turn 4, letting Grasso by it. He picks up a penalty to boot, so that's going to be a little bit of a mistake that he wasn't warranted. Now this, I just got to say, Jack and V Grasso, these are two rookies technically in this season, but they do not drive like rookies whatsoever. These guys almost drive like they're seasoned vet. And I love really watching these guys drive. Jack in the blue Red Bull, whereas J-Rod is in the red Red Bull in 3rd or 4th place.
Yeah, and Grasso and Jack, I mean...
There's a battle here for 7th, while you say that.
Yep, so I'll go over to 7th position here, but Jack and Grasso are easily probably one of the rookies of the year. One of them has got to be the rookie of the year. And it's going to be interesting to see who gets that award, because they both have performed extremely well.
Oh, I thought there was a battle here, but it looks like Venom is ghosted, and he has the hazard lights on, so that means I believe he's in the pause menu. Perhaps he must have lost, either battery power in his controller or accidentally unplugged his wheel, because now he's losing positions, and he finally came back into control of the car just as Patriotic took 8th place from him.
Yeah, but you know what?
Looks like
Venom...
HD went into the pit. Sorry, yep.
Oh, I was going to say Patriotic, he is not giving... Venom, I should say, is not going to give up that position so easily. They're currently duking it out.
Yeah, Patriotic, he may have gained that position easily, but keeping it will not be an easy task whatsoever.
Yeah, now I'm on board here with HD. Looked like he had just put on super soft tires.
Yeah,
and
he started the race
refueled
with
his
softs, I believe.
Yeah, and he refueled his vehicle. Oh, goes into the green strip there. A lot of times that can spell trouble for these cars and cause a spin out and a penalty. Let's see, while we're on lap 8, let's just run through the order here real quick. We have Francisco first.
There's actually a battle for 2nd here now. It's actually really tight.
Yep. Whoa, yeah, very tight.
This is probably the closest it's gotten into turn 4. Crimson getting ahead, making the move, and let's see if it sticks. No, he's running a little wide, getting onto the curb, can't apply the power like he wanted to, and Joey takes back that position. Sorry, let's go back to running down the order now.
Okay, so we've already got 1st, 2nd, and 3rd covered.
Pretty much.
So 4th, we got J-Rod. 5th is V Grasso. 6th, we've got Jack. Then Supermex. Patriotic.
Oh, let's go back to 3rd place.
3rd place, here we go. Going to the outside. Oh, gets pushed out to the dirt there.
Oh, and Joey just gets swallowed up.
Yep.
Yeah, so Joey had the racing line. Unfortunately, he did not push Crimson off track purposely.
that was wrong
the nature
wording
of the mistake. Right, right. Because he did have the racing line. Crimson did have to yield. I saw on the telemetry that Crimson did lift, but unfortunately, I guess Joey just understeered a little bit, and he ran a lot further than he was expecting. Because these guys do love to they give each other room all throughout the race. But so I'll go down the order while you keep on that, and Joey, I guess you can look for other battles. So Francisco ahead of by 4.7 seconds ahead of J-Rod. J-Rod is half a second ahead of Joey. Joey another half a second in front of Crimson. You could literally drop a towel over these guys. Then you got V Grosso in 5th place, 5 seconds back. Jack is another second and a half back from Grosso. Patriotic in 7th, still holding that position from Venom. Who is in turn 2 seconds ahead of Igorski. Then Supermex, he must have. Let me see. Supermex. Oh, yep. Supermex just came out of the pits. That's why he dropped down to 10th place, because he was running in 7th, and then HD in 11th.
Yeah, Vasco's up in front now. 2, 3, and 4. It's anybody's guess at who's going to take that
race,
on.
right.
Yeah, absolutely. And then position 5 and 6, Grasso and Jack, are also close enough, and those are the tight spots right now. Everybody else from 7 on is pretty much in a straight line.
I'm going to have to say it. Unfortunately, Crimson's partner in crime, the situation isn't here, but meanwhile, Crimson is still on everything, including the kitchen sink at this battle for 3rd place. He's going to go on the outside. Is he going to be able to do it this time? And he does. Beautiful move by Crimson, going the long way around and making it work. Joey having to yield that position, knowing that his line was about to cross as soon as Crimson got in front. So it was a great show of battle and overtaking finesse, if you will.
Awesome move, awesome risk taken too, and that's the way you get those positions. Is you got to throw yourself sometimes.
Yeah. Now the one thing though is Crimson's tires are wearing pretty quick compared to looks to be Joey and J-Rod. J-Rod and Joey have clearly the better tires in the situation, so J-Rod should be able to pull away from Crimson and maintain that 2nd position, and I imagine Joey will probably get around Crimson as well. So I don't think it'll...
Looks like Francisco and J-Rod have made a break. So at this point, Crimson, as you were saying, is going to try to do his best while trying to maintain grip in those tires to try to catch on to J-Rod. And Joey at this point is going into the pits. He's going to get rid of these soft tires. You can keep the camera elsewhere, and I'll let you know what he comes out with next.
Yep. And
so he goes for tires, no fuel, and he goes right back to the soft tires again, it looks. Let me see. No, he goes to the mediums. Forgive me. Also, Venom into the pits, getting rid of the super soft tires. Jack went into the pits, got rid of his soft tires, and now he's also on the mediums. So 3 guys into the pits, and all 3 come out with...
Yeah, they look like they... No?
Venom stayed with the super softs. So Jack and Joey on the mediums at this point. So let's see what that's going to do, because Joey is now in 4th place with a fresh set of medium tires, half a tank of fuel, being followed by V Grasso in 5th place with half a tank of fuel, but he's got some worn tires, so he's probably going to want to go into the pits very shortly. Meanwhile, at the front, Francisco, let's see if he goes into the pits. He's starting to catch lap traffic, so maybe he might use that as an opportunity to go into the pits. We'll see.
Yep, and looks like, is he going to go into the pits? He is.
And J-Rod is going to follow him right in.
Yep,
Crimson is going to also follow him in. So Joey now, if he timed this correctly, is going to get the undercut done. So let's see what happens. Francisco has put on the medium tires, believe no fuel, and he is out. So is J-Rod and Crimson. They're all on medium tires. So Joey went for the undercut. Unfortunately, it did not work, but he is much closer than he was before. Oh, this is what a battle that's going up here at the front. Meanwhile, in 6th place, we got Patriotic and Jack running in 6th and 7th, respectfully. Supermax is in 8th, Venom in 9th. Let's see if Venom can use these super soft tires and half tank of fuel to catch on to Supermax coattails. Igorski has just gone into the pits, and he went in with, I believe, soft tires and is now on the mediums. And that is the pit update for now.
Yeah, and Jack is chasing Tifosi, doing a great job there trying to keep up with them, and it might show. Oh, I was just looking at Jack and Tifosi going, and unfortunately Jack did spin out a little bit, lost traction, and allowed Tifosi to take 6th place.
All right, let's run off board and just run through the order while there's no battles at the moment, and we'll kind of call something out as we see it.
Yep, so right now we got Francisco in that beautiful BWT livery, running in first. J-Rod is kicking it, man, 2nd place in that red Bull livery. 3rd place, we've got...
Beautiful livery, I really like that.
It is, man, that is such a nice looking livery.
But this next livery, that red and black crimson-like color, for RWB Crimson. Oh man, just the way it sparkles off board is really nice.
Oh yeah, yeah, great looking livery. Got a couple.
That is chrome, is it not?
That is not chrome. That is a large flake red.
Oh wow.
Yep, and it gets
just
a
really
little
comes-
sideways. Yeah, almost lost it there, but
That
held it
actually is
together.
exactly what Joey needed, because all of these being on the medium tires, Crimson with the least amount of fuel at the moment. Joey is now, he sees Crimson. He's not close enough for a slipstream, but he sees him, and that's going to be motivating, I'm sure.
It is. It is. And then Joey Cannoli, obviously 4th place with that lovely, lovely livery. Now we got the Red Cow of Grasso, man. He's rounding out the top 5, doing a fabulous job. Now he does have to
I just
pit.
want to point this out. I just want to point this out to the viewers. If you look at the mini map, first place is just coming around 4th corner, and if you notice, everybody is pretty much equally spread out. So this is what happens during the pit strategies. It kind of spreads everybody out. Later on in the race is when they're all going to start catching each other.
Yeah, and Grasso may be running 5th here at the moment, but it looks like he's going to have to pit here within the next lap or two, judging by his tire wear. His tires are just about shot.
Right, and something who else is about to get shot. No, that didn't sound right. J-Rod in 2nd place, being chased by Crimson. Definitely not the imagery I wanted to create. My bad.
Nope, let's not do that now. Come on.
Nope, absolutely not. Thought I could be smooth with that transition, but clearly that fell flat on the face. But anyways, what I was trying to say is Crimson has finally, in the last couple laps, Crimson has eaten away at about half a second on J-Rod. So J-Rod's still maintaining a lead, and a 17.6 from Crimson. Meanwhile, J-Rod put in an 18.4. So that's what, 0.8 of a second faster Crimson was. So that gap is starting to close. Meanwhile, Francisco up in front is now starting to catch lap traffic. Maybe we can go to HD Fatboy and look from behind, maybe in chase cam, but backwards.
Yep,
we can see what Francisco and what HD is going to do. Is he going to move out of the way, or is Francisco going to have to pull something out of the hat?
Let's take a look here.
Looks like he goes for a wide line to get underneath him into the next corner. He's still a little too far. But he makes a mistake, and Francisco just takes that opportunity. And nope, trying to be safe. He doesn't want to take them out. And here it comes.
Yep, there it
Closes
is.
the door, gets
There it
underneath
is.
them. Almost going wide in the process. Using the overtake to maintain it for him. He does not want HD, Fatboy, battling for him into turn 1. So he's going to sacrifice a little bit of that overtake just to keep ahead. Staying on the inside. In the middle of the track, I should say, and HD is not close enough, nor is he dumb enough to make a move on to turn 1 on the leader. So that was good to see. But what that did do is it apparently slowed Francisco down enough, almost 1.3 seconds slower than J-Rod on that lap alone. That's what half a lap behind lap traffic basically does to the times.
MV Grasso finally does pit. He's the only one that hasn't pitted yet. Went all the way to the 15th with sauce.
So he pitted and put medium tires as well as some fuel, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, put in a little bit of fuel, but not much.
Yeah,
He's still just barely over half.
Right, I believe about half a tank of fuel is just a little bit shy of 10 laps. So I think a lot of people are running 10-lap stints. And if anybody knows anything about anything, frankly, you don't want to have more fuel than you need. That's the rule of the game in motorsports. So that's probably why everybody's been putting in about half a tank of fuel. That's because that's exactly as much fuel as it takes for a tire stint. Now let's go to 9th place here, Super Mets in the Hooters breast cancer livery. BWT no longer the only pink cars on track. Now we do have the Hooters. Hey, his eyes are up here, okay? Crimson, not be looking there.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, I can't help it.
He's battling now 8th place, which is and I mean, he's close. He's given the tire wear situation that he has. He's not, he's not going to be lunging underneath them and trying to get a move. That would just be reckless. And so this is going to be an interesting battle to watch.
It will, but it looked like Venom had put a little bit of a gap there on Supermax, coming out of those first turns. Now going into the second sector, taking a look here, still maintains that gap.
Now the battle for second place is getting much, much closer. Last lap, Crimson put in a 17.3 on medium tires, mind you, while J-Rod put in 18.0. So let's see, now he puts in 17.8 and Crimson is still a 10th faster, so he's every little bit getting closer. Joey is starting to fall back a little bit, not too concerned about that because he's got a massive gap to 5th place at the moment, so let's keep an eye on that a little bit later. Meanwhile, let's keep this battle here. Let's keep watching here for a battle for second. Looks like Crimson on the medium tires put in the fastest sector 1 at the moment. So that's impressive.
Yeah, and I'm riding on board here with J-Rod. I'm on the hood view looking back, and all he's seeing is a whole lot of red, black, and green.
Yeah, he's less than half a second away from J-Rod in that slipstream.
Right.
Doesn't have to worry about Cannoli, about 7 seconds back behind Crimson.
And while the slipstream is something you want on that long straight coming out of the final corner, in this sector 2 section, it's a double-edged sword. Yeah, you can get close, but in those high-speed corners, you get a lot of aero wash, and what happens is that you're starting to turn left or right, and the car just does not want to turn. It wants to keep going straight. Oh, Francisco and Crimson slip into the pits. Looks like Francisco has been managing his fuel a lot better. Let's see what he does here. He's putting in fuel, and he switches tires. Let's see if he goes to the super softs again, or what he's going to do. He goes to the super softs, yes. And Joey, now in second place, is going to come out just ahead of Francisco, and Crimson also on the super softs tires. So now that means we have a leader change. J-Rod in the lead, who's gets in the back of Igorski, and J-Rod in Joey Cannoli in second place.
Yeah, and while that may be good for them, that also might be a bad thing. Especially with Francisco and Crimson, they put in just enough fuel for a stint on super soft tires, so that lightweight plus the super soft tires, you're going to get a lot quicker around this track. You're going to be catching up to J-Rod and Joey a lot quicker than you normally would on a full tank.
Right. At the moment, it looks like Francisco and Crimson are both trying to undercut the pit strategy of Joey and J-Rod. It looks like Francisco has now finally got close to Joey. The longer Joey stays out, the longer Joey stays out, the more Francisco is going to gap him once Joey goes into the pit. So at this point, Joey is trying to manage. I mean, he's really racing against himself at the moment, because these early pit strategies dictate where you're going to be later on in the race. So Joey, it looks like Joey's trying to prolong these pit strategies, build a gap against the guys who are behind, respectfully, not necessarily Francisco, but behind him in the pit strategies, and so he can get a bigger delta to them for later on. Looks like J-Rod, I mean, he's starting to slow down. At the last lap, he put in a 19.9, almost 20 seconds. So he might be going into the pits this lap, if not in a couple.
And taking a look here, Francisco just made a beautiful pass on Joey Cannoli for second place.
It looked like he was going to stay behind him, but Joey made a little mistake, and that was just all it took for Francisco to make a quick judgment and just slip on by. Yep. So J-Rod goes into the pits. He's going to be getting rid of those medium tires now. He should be putting on some soft tires or super soft. So medium compound tires in the top 5 positions are all done.
Yep, and look like Crimson just ran the fastest lap of the race there, 1:16.7.
Yeah, that is mighty quick. A tenth faster than Francisco, who put in a 16.8.
Yes. Now, meanwhile, Joey, it looks like his tires are starting to fall off there. He's been running 119s, 120s for the last, let's say, about 5-6 laps.
Right, and so just to give you an update, J-Rod, who had gone into the pits to get rid of the medium tires, has now gone on to the soft tires, and it looks like he is 5 seconds back from Crimson. It looks like Crimson is still putting on yet another fast lap at the moment. He has Joey ahead of him, so we'll see if Joey holds him up, or if he can make light work, which it's going to be hard when you're trying to pass lap traffic as well. Now, Joey, you know, obviously hindsight's a beautiful thing, but at this point in the race, what were you thinking about? Were you just, you know, trying to look forward and just mind your own race, or were you truly thinking, oh damn, like I really got to do something to catch these guys?
Yeah, I mean the tire strategy didn't quite work out, so I was figuring, hey, take these mediums and take these softs as far as you can go. Don't worry about who's in front of you, who's behind you. Just try to make them last and go the distance, and maybe the last 5-7 laps you might get a miracle.
Right, because I mean, if you have the tires to actually battle in those crucial last laps, that's sometimes more important than breaking away in the beginning.
Exactly, yeah.
So, just an update. Francisco in first, Crimson second, J-Rod third, Patriotic fourth, V. Grasso in fifth. Joey Canoli drops down to sixth after that pit strategy. Jack in seventh, Venom in eighth, Supermax in ninth, Igor C 10th, and HD Fatboy coming out of the pits in 11th.
Yeah, so far a really clean race. I'm not seeing a lot of collisions. I'm not seeing a lot of spin-outs. So, I mean, so far it's been a great race. Everybody's putting in really fast times. I mean, look like Francisco just ran a 1:16.9. Crimson is getting ready to run. He ran a 1:17.1. And then J-Rod running a similar time, 1:17.1. So the times between the top 3 at the moment are very, very similar.
Right,
and you're really seeing the maturity of some of these drivers, right? Just comparing last season and the season before that, you really see the difference in how neat some of this racing is right now.
Right, let's jump to fourth place and give Patriotic some love on his potential last race of the season. He's doing a great job at the moment in fourth place, ahead of his teammate who he just lapped, Gorski, also on the McLaren. And I mean, I love watching this guy race. He's very neat and tidy, as you were saying, Joey, about the leaders, if you will, the podium contenders at the moment. Patriotic is not too far off, and he's pretty clean. I mean, he's running 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, almost 9 laps in the 18s. So consistency is definitely there.
And looks to be there looks to be a battle for 5th place starting to heat up.
Right,
looks like between Grasso and Joey.
And Grasso and Joey are not too far away from Patriotic, who is in 4th. And just to keep in mind, Grasso and Patriotic look like they're very close in terms of pit strategy. Patriotic is running a little bit less fuel, marginally less fuel, maybe a lap or 2 less than Grasso, but Joey is in a great position in 6th place at the moment with half a tank of fuel. So at this point, you know, whether he knows it or not, he's in a good position to make up 2 positions, basically.
Yeah, they were practicing together during the week, and they were very tightly grouped when they were going around the lap, so they're evenly matched, although they are on different tires.
Right, and it looks like Joey, no, not Joey, Crimson, I should say. Just this previous lap was almost a second, actually 1.1 seconds faster than the leader, Francisco. Francisco's about to cross the line here, and he's going to put in a 17.7, and Crimson puts in a 17.2. So he's ever so slightly getting closer and closer to Francisco. Let's see if Francisco is going to answer back with a fast lap at this point, or if Crimson just has more pace at this time in the race.
And meanwhile, J-Rod just ran a 116.9. So J-Rod is out for blood. He is looking to take first place away from Francisco and Crimson.
Right. If you note, the top three guys at the moment, they're all running 17s and 16s. There's, it's peppered in here with a couple off pace times, which are anything in the 30s. That's actually a pit time, a pit entry. So as you see these lap times, if you go back and forth slowly between first, second, and third, you'll notice that they're all running very, very similar lap times. We're not making this up, guys. This is fact. It's up there on the lap boards. Yeah, meanwhile, in fourth, Patriotic is running 18s and 19s, so he's about a second or so, just shy about a second off the pace of the top three guys. V. Grasso, same thing, 18s and 19s. Joey's 17s and 19s. So Joey has been stuck in traffic in a couple positions. He's made a couple mistakes touching the grass here and there, but just goes to show that he's running about the same pace as the guys in first, second, and third. And now Joey, like we predicted, is now up into fourth as V. Grasso and Patriotic dive into the pits.
Yep. Now, what's interesting to me, I'm looking at Jack. He just went into the pits. He's running anywhere from 17s to 18s, 19s. Venom, he's running 18s and 19s. Supermax is running 119s, 120s.
That was a massive dive into the pits from Venom. Not sure if you caught that. That's okay.
I did not catch that, unfortunately.
It's probably better that you didn't. It's probably better that you didn't. I was highly illegal.
And Igorski, he's running, his times are a little bit all over the place. He's running anywhere from 118s to 122s, 26,
right,
20s. But
let's keep in mind that he is getting lapped at the moment. So a lot of those inconsistencies is him allowing people to get through, as well as trying to making mistakes, I should say, while on the dirty part of the track, letting these people through. So let's not judge too much on his lap times, as he's basically juggling and paddling his back while touching his head all at the same time.
Yeah, and same goes for HD. I'm looking at his times as well. They are a little bit all over the place, but it's like you said, it's due to dealing with people that are lapping you. And I know that may sound bad, hey, these people are lapping you, these people are doing this, doing that. Don't take it wrong. I mean, you're learning the car still. You're trying to get. You want to build pace. You want to get better. This is the only way to do it. Is race with the regulars. And it looked like HD had went into the dirt there as Crimson was going past. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, if you told Crimson and Joey Cannoli a year ago, or even half a year ago, that they would be running 16s and 17s at Interlagos, they would have smacked you in the face and called you a liar. But it just goes to show that everybody starts towards the bottom, and with experience, you start to clean up your lines, you start to build up speed, you get more confidence in the front end of the car, because without confidence in the front end, if you don't have the confidence that you're going to brake and stop where you want it, or you're going to turn and the car is going to go pointed in the direction that you want, it's hard to do consistent lap times.
Yeah, and that's also the case for J-Rod. I'm on board with him right now. He had just passed HD going into the first turns. And I mean, J-Rod's running in third, pulling 116s, 117s. Currently, he's up in the fastest lap of the race. Which I'm curious to see. Yeah, he is on pace, so it's going to be interesting to see if he does get that fastest lap.
And he's been using softs, right? He hasn't touched super softs to get that extra cornering, which is incredible.
Unlike Crimson and Francisco, who have been using super soft, except for the mediums at the moment. Because remember, folks, mediums and soft tires have a mandatory minimum lap of 5 laps. So once you do your 5 laps, you can get rid of them. But if you do the race and you do not complete the 5 laps, there are some hefty penalties in place. So all these drivers know the rules. And as you can see here, Crimson in second place just jumped to the pits. He's going to get rid of those super softs. So Francisco, going super wide, touches the grass into one and uses the exit road, as he's allowed to do since he went off track. That was not him cutting the track. That was him correcting a mistake by getting on the grass. And at that point, it's dangerous to rejoin the track on that corner. So it's just, you just basically take the exit road. So long as you're not doing it at race speed, it's acceptable. As you can see, he never picked up a penalty.
Yeah, and now Joey has taken third position.
Great minds think alike.
Absolutely. Now Crimson is still in second place, but not by much. But no, I'm on board here. I'm on board here with Joey because I'm curious to see what J-Rod's gonna do. J-Rod is clearly on fresher tires. He's got more fuel. I believe he might have enough fuel to last the rest of the race.
That's probable, actually. Probably. I think the full tank was about 15 laps, right? So I think he does have enough to finish the race. If he, I mean, he's gonna have to marginally fuel save here and there, or he'll just probably. I know he's not going to be able to do the whole race with this amount of softs, or with the set of softs.
And there comes J-Rod going to the inside, trying to pass Joey Canoli for third place. They are drag racing down the front stretch.
And Joey goes and pinches him to the inside.
Yep, he's going to try to pinch him. J-Rod plays it a little bit safe, keeps that inside line, and is going to get the job done.
Oh, that was
Great move on J-Rod's part.
I almost thought Joey had the grip to keep it along the outside like Crimson did on Joey several laps back, if y'all remember. But I guess the tire wears in the front are just a little too off. Joey, scrubbed off the speed and just let J-Rod take it instead of doing something silly and cutting contact, getting on the curb, and then possibly spinning out.
Yeah, and after all these laps, we're almost at the beginning again, right? We're the top 4 or 5 people are kind of battling out almost the way they started.
And that's what I love about these races, these multiple stop strategies. The beginning of the race, super exciting. The second and third stints, it's more of like, we have to gauge the gaps. But now that we're on the last 15 laps, you start to see these lap strategies or these pit strategies. Now they're starting like an accordion. They're kind of coming back to each other, and that just goes to show the actual pace, that how close these guys are racing.
And now let's give the backfield some love, man. I know we've been talking about the top 5 or top 4 all race long. Let's give some love here to the back. That may have sounded wrong, but 5th place, Grasso, man, he's still holding it down after going almost 16, 17 laps on a full, just about a full tank and super soft tires. He's managed to regain his position, so he's got a healthy lead over Patriotic, who is currently running 6th at the moment.
Right, but I believe Patriotic and J-Rod on similar pace strategies, whereas Grasso is at about a quarter of a tank, and Patriotic is at 3/4.
Yep, and Jack looks to be just about on the same strategy as Grasso. He's running about a quarter tank. He's got super soft tires. They are starting to wear down a bit. It looks like Francisco just went into the pits. And then let's take a look here at Venom. Venom, he's just about empty. He's gonna have to pit at the end of this lap.
Right, so it looks like Crimson has just taken the lead, and J-Rod go into second place momentarily. Francisco puts in only 79% fuel and some soft tires. So is he going to try to make this to the end? That's surely too many laps for soft tires, but I guess he's going to try. It's going to be a gamble, that's for sure.
It is, but he has got good momentum on J-Rod. He's got just enough fuel to last the race. He's got soft tires. Or is he gonna, like you said, or is he gonna make it last all race or for the rest of the race? I mean, we don't know. We'll have to find out. But he is catching up quick to J-Rod. I'm gonna go on board here with J-Rod. Take a look here at the back. And yeah, Francisco, man, is just gaining on him throughout the turns. J-Rod does have a little bit of tire wear, but I don't think it's enough to really slow him down. He's still putting in good lap times.
Yeah, it looks like J-Rod is 4 laps in with these tires. Francisco is fresh, so this is his first out. This is his out lap, and he's using a lot of overtake. He's trying to get onto the coattails of J-Rod because he knows he has pace. So he doesn't want to let J-Rod get away too far.
Yep, and there he goes. Is he going to overtake? No, got a little bit squirrely there going into the first turns. So J-Rod...
Yeah, it looked like J-Rod jumped across the track. I think it has to do with more internet connections. And Francisco just slammed the brakes at that point because the door that he thought was open was instantly closed much quicker than in reality it should have. So let's see what happens. But that attempt number 1 failed. Let's see what happens next.
Yep. Meanwhile,
very
Crimson...
crisp lines. And Crimson, sorry, not Crispin.
Yeah, Crimson's still got a healthy lead over J-Rod and Francisco. Now, his fuel situation's a little bit worse compared to J-Rod and Francisco. So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
And V. Grasso has moved up to 4th place. He must have missed it. Joey must have made a mistake. No, he didn't. He actually went into the pits for medium tires.
Yep, and there goes Crimson into the pits.
Didn't Joey already use medium tires? Joey, please explain that.
He did. But you know, his strategy was failing with the softs and super softs. His crew told him go with the mediums, last all the way
and
through
finish
the race.
Perfect.
And finish the race.
Right, just checking because, you know, in real life, that's actually a strategy that they opt for. Sometimes, you know, that day the soft tires just aren't working and the driver will say, you know what, give me the mediums. I feel much comfortable, less likely to make mistakes. So if that's the case, that's good. I just thought it was information was incorrect on my end.
Yeah, and there's also a strategy where you have to change on a dime and say, you know, okay, I'm not going to catch first and second. Let me hold on to this, and hoping that the others in front of you have not pitted yet, and maybe they're stretching and counting on that to catch up.
Right, that's a valid strategy, and a lot of times it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. This time we'll keep an eye and see what happens. So currently Joey in 5th place with an alternate, let's call it an audible. He calls an audible. Let's see if that helps him maintain 5th or what happens. Meanwhile, at the front, Francisco is just not quite close enough to J-Rod. J-Rod running a defensive line, but he's way too far for that to even be effective. If anything, it actually helped Francisco gain on him a little bit into turn 1. Crimson is on his out lap, just started his first flying lap. Now he is only about 8 seconds back on Francisco. Now 6 seconds, sorry, the timing screen just updated. 6 seconds seems like a lot, but let's remember, Francisco went into the pits for soft tires and a full tank of fuel. So that gives me every indication that he's planning on taking those tires to the end.
Yep. And I'm riding with Francisco here in the bumper view, just trying to gauge how he's gonna attack J-Rod for that first position. So I'm riding along with you and just taking a gander here, see what plays out. I am about to go mute here for just a few seconds, so give me just a sec.
Yeah, and you know, the broadcasting company here in New Jersey puts in a 7-second delay, so I'm a little behind everything you guys see, which is one of the reasons I'm not chiming in as much as usual.
Oh, I see. Okay. What timestamp are you at?
Sorry?
What's your timestamp?
46:20 now.
Okay, yeah. So you're only a second. You're only a second, about a second off.
Oh, I'm more than that. Yep.
Yeah, we are a little bit off there on timestamp at the moment. I'm not sure why. But
nonetheless, the race goes on.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, what did they say at Showbiz? The show must go on.
That's right. And when you guys say something happened, I know that I can focus in on that and still watch it. So.
Right, so you get the instant replay, if you will.
Yeah.
Right, so Joey now drops into 6th place as V. Grasso and Patriotic both went into the pits. And just come out a little bit ahead of Joey. Joey is on the overtake, trying to close that gap. He knows that he has pace on these medium tires. He knows that Patriotic just came out of the pits. And he also sees that Patriotic has a lapped vehicle in front of him. So, let's see what Joey does here in these next couple turns, and see if he can. Let's see if he can pull a rabbit out of the hat, basically.
Yeah, I'm gonna write cockpit view this time around with Joey. I want to see, what his inputs are. He's probably one of our smoothest drivers we've got, so knows how to smoothly go into the turns.
And funny enough, like I was saying 4 months ago, if you would have said that, Joey would have laughed at you and be like, "Listen, you're obviously mocking me." But now, no. Now, obviously everybody who's been with RWB knows about Joey Ware. But if you notice, Joey Ware is no longer existent. In fact, Joey is very deliberate now with his inputs, and that's great to see. So now Joey Cannoli over here has HD ahead of him. He's got the slipstream, getting a little bit of dirt thrown into his face. Let's see what he does here.
Yeah. Oh, HD just goes into the green, right, allowing Joey to.
Right. No driver ever wants their competitors to go off track or crash or anything like that. But Joey's like, "Thank you very much. That was easy work, and I'll take it."
Now, here's what's interesting. J-Rod just went into the pits. Got about 8 laps to go. Looks like he's coming out with soft tires.
Yeah, so he's going to finish the race with soft. The only change in tires
like
he had is 9.
Stayed out, obviously. Oh, and he's going super wide after he passed a Super Max. And, I mean, I guess Francisco at this point thinks, okay, I got about, he must be thinking to himself, I got about a 10-second lead and only, 7 laps to go?
Right. So he's probably, he's
definitely in managing mode.
Yeah, he is
he's managing at this point.
Purely managing. And now we've got yet another battle for 2nd place between J-Rod and Crimson. But I don't think this is going to last as long because J-Rod just came out of the pits with fresh, soft tires. Crimson, meanwhile, has got some soft tires.
2, 4, 6, about 5 laps old on his soft tires.
Yeah, every bit. So this battle is not going to be lasting for long, as we can already tell.
Right, and the battle for 5th place at the moment it seems like it's at a stalemate. Joey has about a 1.8 second gap to Patriotic, and he's trying everything, but at the same time he has keeping in mind, 6th position is a great position. There's no point being silly and binning it. So if I can catch him, I can catch him. If not, let's see.
Yep.
Sorry to speak for you, but I'm assuming that's what you're thinking about.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. You get to a point that you want to at least maintain what you've got and not lose.
Correct. Yeah, and sometimes that's not a bad thing. You look at it and go, yeah, I could have finished better. But at the same time, you go, yeah, well, at least I'm not last. At least I didn't finish 8th or 9th.
Joey, what was that goal that you always had for yourself earlier?
Be less last.
Every time you did a race?
Less last.
Oh,
Right.
did we lose Joey?
We did
No,
not
you
lose
can't hear me.
Joey.
Is Joey in the party chat still? You can
Joey
hear
is
Joey?
in the party chat. It sounds
Yeah, I
like
guess,
you've got
I
issues
guess
on
you
your
lost
end.
me.
Okay.
Yep, so I will keep commentating here while you get that readdressed.
Right.
Cody, can you hear
tell
me or no?
Joey to send
Yep.
me an invite? I'm gonna exit at the right now.
Okay. Joey, be
Tell
sure to
Joey
send Mr. Francisco an invite. But while
Will
we're
do.
at it here, so I'm looking at Francisco. His tires are wore down. I mean, they're every bit a quarter of the way worn. J-Rod, meanwhile, I don't even think they've worn. And he's about 3 laps in. So he is absolutely bent on getting Francisco. Crimson, meanwhile, running third. His tires are wearing down as well. Just to give you hindsight on my end, you know, I figured, hey, I clearly my pit strategy did not work. Let's just try and settle for third.
Sorry
And
about
looks,
that, guys.
Yep, there you are. Grasso still maintaining 4th place. He's kind of in no man's land at the moment. He is
When you
about
get a chance, Crimson, can you just give me the timestamp at the top, in the middle, sorry?
in the middle, my timestamp right now is 53:30.
Okay, thank you. Perfect, I'm back on.
Right on.
Sorry, guys. Back to
Yeah.
what you were saying there, Cody.
Okay, I kind of forgot what I was saying, but yeah,
You were talking about
patriotic.
Crimson.
Nah, yeah, Crimson, like I said, at that point, just to give you my hindsight, if I got 3rd place, so be it. I ended up, you know, I want to end up with a podium position. But I'm going to take a look here at J-Rod, because it looks to me like J-Rod is gaining on Francisco.
Yeah, and it looks like he's gaining quickly. It looks like J-Rod at the moment is carrying anywhere between 1.2 to almost 2 seconds a lap faster. So that 10-second gap that was once upon a time is now down to 5 seconds, 4.8 seconds with 4 laps to go.
Yep, so everybody seems to be spaced out here at the moment. Let's see, Patriotic, Joey Cannoli, they're still in a little bit of a battle. And it's not close enough to constitute watching, but it is something to definitely check out, probably within the next couple laps. Jack, meanwhile, he's just running his own race at the moment. He's out in no man's land, really doesn't have anybody in front of him, doesn't have anybody behind him. He's kicking it at the moment. Venom, meanwhile, same ordeal. Out in no man's land. Let's take a look here at Mex. And Mex looks like he possibly got lapped by Francisco.
Yep, and J-Rod is now very close. So Francisco did try to do something smart, which was get ahead of Super Mex, but then try to keep him close.
Yeah, the different
enough.
pit strategies here really come to play when you look at that mini map and see exactly what the positions are and how spread out a lot of these drivers are until the very, very end.
Yeah, it looks like Francisco's now starting to struggle with tire wear, where he was able to catch Supermex quite easily, to be completely without being rude. But now Supermex is staying with Francisco. So Francisco looks like at this point in the race, I was definitely thinking, all right, so long as I can keep Supermex between me and J-Rod, I'm sure I can manage these tires.
Yeah, and I'm going to mention something here. J-Rod just ran the fastest lap of the race. He ran a 1:16.6. Francisco, meanwhile, ran a 1:18.4. So that's almost a 2-second difference on that lap itself. So we're at lap 43. He's got Francisco in his sights.
Yeah, the gap to Francisco and J-Rod is 1.2 seconds.
And Francisco's tires are well worn, where J-Rod is a lot more fresh, even though they're both on softs.
Right. Let's go to the cockpit of Francisco here, because as you can see,
and Crimson chasing them tires also are starting to show quite a bit of wear.
Right, and here
So
comes
J-Rod's
J-Rod
in
right
a perfect
behind.
position here with fresh tires and very
Now,
low fuel.
Let's take a look here. J-Rod all over Francisco's business. They are drag racing down the front stretch
Oh,
to the
Francisco
finish
struggling
line.
to put the power down.
Yep, we got just about 2 laps to go. I am on board with J-Rod here, hood view. I'm swiveling the camera to get a really good view of this. How is J-Rod going to overtake Francisco for the lead?
Francisco holding him to the outside line.
Yep, but he took the inside, and he's got it. 2 laps to go.
Oh, Francisco struggling to put the power down. He's just all over the place at this point. It seems like Francisco took a gamble, but just did not pay off, because now there's...
Just watching these two drivers run these lines and battle against each other is just unbelievable that they're keeping those cars in line and still be able to give the other some nervous,
just enough room, right?
Energy there that they're right behind you. Awesome driving.
That is top-notch driving, man. This race just got good. 2 laps to go. Overtake for the lead. You've got clearly the better tires out of the 3 there of Francisco and Crimson. So at this point, it is your race to lose.
Well, mine as in J-Rod's.
Yeah, J-Rod's. My apologies.
Right, mine. I've already lost my lead. I tried to manage that lead, but I'm getting to the point now where Crimson has closed the gap. I don't have a free pit stop no more, so I can't even go to the pits. At this point, I'm a sitting duck. So if you notice, going into turn 1 here, Francisco he goes super wide, scrubs off a lot of speed, and when he gets to go onto the power, the car just is all out of shape. He can't hold the line, and he's just struggling, just frankly struggling. But that's what these great races are made of. It's these split-second decisions, these pit strategies. J-Rod coming out, extending that second-to-last stint just enough to where he basically said, all right, Francisco, if you're not going to the pits, then I'm going to have the better tires, and let's see how fast you really are.
Yep. Now I'm going to stay on board with J-Rod here. Let's see if he manages to get it done. So going into the last turn before the final straight.
Clipping the apex and getting on the power nice and early. He's got plenty of overtake. He could have basically used that from this entire lap.
He could have. And
this
look
was a
at J-Rod swerving across the finish line there. Great win.
Beautifully done.
Francisco going across the line. We got Crimson finishing in 3rd spot. Has to do the burnout or the slide.
Oh! Looks like he didn't even touch the wall, so his mechanics have no damage to fix there. Beautifully done. And now here comes V. Grasso. Coming on to the final straight.
Taking a look at Grasso. And what a strong finish, man. 4th place. And speaking of strong finishes, Patriotic finishing in 5th. Joey...
in the top 5, beautifully done.
Yes, and Joey Canoli, 6th place.
Using up the last bit of that overtake. I mean, if you don't use it, you lose it, they say.
Yep.
And
Jack...
a strong 6th place, yep.
Yep, Jack coming home in very respectable...
Venom 9th place and 10th place are Supermax and Igorski because they've already crossed the line, and all we have left now is Fat Boy, who is just a couple laps down, but that's it's not a bad thing. That happens.
No,
these are super long races.
Yep, and he has stopped. Oh, he's doing a burnout. He's doing a burnout across the line. So he figured, you know what, I didn't finish the strongest, but by God, I'm going to entertain the most.
That was a beautiful finish. I must say, I might actually, if I have a big enough lead, I might actually do that one day. Thank you, Fat Boy, for that.
Yeah.
Oh, that was entertaining, man. What a race, Joey. What do you think, man?
I think we just lost Joey.
Okay, I was just paused just in case we hadn't. All right, so that's unfortunate. So that was Joey, part of the cannoli bakery. Came over, helped us do the live stream. Thanks to Cody for broadcasting this and putting it all together. Special shout out to Chris, who's here in spirit. Couldn't be here at the race, unfortunately. He's on vacation, but nonetheless, I'm sure he's watching and giving lots of thumbs up.
Yes, yeah, and I'm just gonna say that was an awesome race. That is J-Rod's first win of the season, and I'm pretty sure that is his first win. That's his second win?
It's a second podium, first win. His first podium was last week at In the Rain, Red Bull. Red Bull in the Rain, and surely enough, he put the Red Bull machine on the podium, and now he's just got some strong momentum. It looks like he's finally clicked with that Red Bull machine. He must have found a setting that he likes, because he's always been consistent, but now he's consistently quick, which is he stepped up a level, that's for sure.
Yep. So, Joey, what are your thoughts of the race?
Can you hear me okay?
Yep, we hear you perfectly fine now.
Loud and clear.
Okay, I had to drop everything and reconnect. Like I said, I was a little behind on the video. It was an exciting race. I mean, J-Rod really did a wonderful job.
It's just a masterclass.
He only used softs and the mediums for 9 laps, and everything else was soft, and it really worked out for him. Excellent. And Vasco and Crimson just chasing and battling out throughout the race was just exciting to watch, because you really don't know how it's going to end until the last 5 laps.
Right, and it's never over until it's over, is what they say. And that was just a perfect example. You got to mind the gap sometimes, because it might be large, and you might think you have it in the bag. But as Francisco found out, even a 10-second gap is hard to maintain when you have very, very horrible tires. I mean, the drop-off on those super soft tires were just horrendous, or on the soft tires were horrendous. I think I was doing pretty consistent laps for the first 10 laps, but then lap 12, 13, 14, oh my God, it was like I just drove off a cliff.
Yeah, there were a few drivers that stayed away from this super soft altogether. I mean, J-Rod, myself, I didn't touch the super softs, and Tifosi also did pretty much what J-Rod did. Had the mediums, and then went super soft all the way throughout. So that might have been a winning strategy in the end.
Oh, the softs, you mean? Sorry, he used the softs all throughout.
Yes, softs all the way through. Yep.
Wow, man, that was a great broadcast. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe if you guys enjoyed it. Leave some comments below also. I mean, we love reading the comments after the race, and we'll try to get back to them as well. But I guess from us, that's pretty much it, really.
That's going to wrap it up here. I just took a look at our comments, and looked like Q was a huge fan, so...
Mr. Super
thank
Q?
You. Yep, Mr. Super Q
so
himself. Yep, thank you for checking out the video, as well as Josh Monfort. So, yeah, give us a like on Facebook. If you want to join in this kind of racing, we've got a group, RWB Racing, the red, white, and blue. We've got a Facebook page, RWB Racing, as well as a YouTube channel. Give that YouTube channel a like, folks. You'll catch a lot more broadcasts. And hit that little alarm next to it. That way you know the next time we go live. So this is Crimson here signing off. Thank you, Vasco. Thank you, Joey, for joining me and commentating this entertaining race.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yep. Thank you, guys, and God bless.